The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. Third time, Andrea, third time.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Technically the first. So that's
right. Yeah. This is the third time we've tried to do this. It was crazy. It was a crazy thing to get you on, but we got here. That's what matters, right? We're
that's
here.
About the journey and I guess also the destination. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. Happy to be here either way.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited to do this. I was, you know what I just realized? I didn't realize Dream Hiss had a cassette tape. So
yeah.
You'll be getting an order for that pretty soon here from me. So
send it to you. I mean, I don't know. Everything's so expensive. Like it was a labor of love, but I'm happy, you give me your address.
Yeah.
Ship you a little.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah. I think Tula wants to say hi now. Come here. Come on.
You
gonna come up? Come up. Well, she's out of the frame. Sorry.
Oh, dang it.
All right, go on. Get out of here. Nope, your cuteness isn't gonna work on me. Sorry. I call her Tula the Terrible because she just gets whatever she wants. So
I got it. They're so cute. They're so good.
All right. So tell me, first off, MK Naomi is the project we're talking about today. But I also want to mention, you in Unseemlier, the contrast between your voice, it's just in what Mike's doing is so awesome. I am a big fan of that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
How did that come about? How did you what goes through when someone has a product? You have MK Naomi. So when are you what is the process for you to be I want to join another band too?
That's a great question because I had no intent of it whatsoever. So just to give you a quick background. So when I joined Unseemlier, MK Naomi, we had just kind of hit the ground running. We had been a band for about a year and a half. That very big difference there. We had just played our first show a few months prior. It was fall of 2023. And then both our drummer, my stepsister, Allie, our original drummer, got pregnant. I say it like it was an accident. She totally wanted to. I mean, so she announced that she was pregnant. And then our guitarist, Lauren, we were a three-piece at the time, so this is 2 out of 3 people here. And then Lauren's partner works for a university and basically got an offer they can't refuse to do, basically move to London for 6 months. So I was like, oh, I'm very excited for you guys, but oh my God, what am I going to do? Okay. So I kind of came into music. I had been in a band, Tiffy, up until that point after COVID. Coming out of COVID, not sure if I was going to do music, did Tiffy. Realized I really wanted to work on my own music. And so amicably just told them I kind of had to do that. And so then when this all came around, I believe I was at the Glitter Boys. Do you know them at all?
It sounds familiar. That sounds real familiar. Yeah.
They're friends of Mike's. So they're Stoughton guys. They do this cool, I don't know, retro, 70s, 80s, just kind of funk R&B sort of dance nights, DJ nights. And so they had a vintage prom at Roadrunner. Mike, he basically just asked me out of the blue if I wanted to join his band. And I was like, me? like, okay, sure, yeah. Like it
Mm.
kind of came at the best time it could have possibly come. So yeah, basically MK was on a little bit of a hiatus right after we kind of started for 6 months, and that was kind of the perfect time to assimilate into Unseemlier.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, because like it's cool because I enjoy both bands, and they, to me, they sound completely different, right? Like they're two
Hmm.
completely different sounds that you're going for. However, I will say lyrically, I think they're kind of similar,
Yeah.
in a way, and it always blows my mind when I can hear super sad lyrics behind like almost like a happy tone, or like a real, like, at first, your voice is beautiful, by the way, like what,
Thank you.
and so like when I hear like it makes me smile, but then I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm like, I don't know if I should be smiling to this, but it's relatable, right? I think
Hmm.
you're always going to be like, if something's relatable, I think it's always like it's always a positive thing too, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so tell me, like, what's like your writing style, right? What
Mhm.
are you writing true experiences, or are you writing like are you kind of writing like, just, I don't know, like some people will write like super direct and like good and like their own experience, but then some people kind of have to step outside of the box to do that, you know what I mean? So like,
Hmm.
break it down for me.
Yeah, my writing style is super chaotic. It is very autobiographical. Yeah, I come and go in spurts. Like I'm very jealous in like a supportive sort of way of people who can just write. Like, I think I was just listening to one of your episodes with an ad from Squally Green Thumb and how he was writing like one. Is it this? He's still doing one EP per month.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that right?
I think he's done now because he's got the Miracle on Comav
Right.
compilation coming. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. I,
Yeah.
I applaud that and I think that's so cool. And I have whatever the opposite of that is. So so writing kind of comes in weird spurts for me. Like I've tried buying notebooks. I barely use them. I sometimes use phone apps. It's very like, oh my God, I have adult ADHD and I went so long without realizing it and I'm still not really doing enough for it. So yeah, I guess the first batch of MK's and Naomi songs, like the best way to explain it is just I had ideas that I've been sitting on for a while. I alluded to like not being sure if I wanted to go back to music after COVID, just because I a lot of those songs were inspired by a mental breakdown I had in 2016,
Mm.
and I'm over time become more like comfy just telling people, but it was like super shameful to me, and I felt so weird. I was living with my best friend's parents in 2016. I took off like 4 months from work and was on FMLA. It was honestly like my job just pushed me over the edge. I had someone I loved in my life that was just not doing well and had mental illness, and I was taking care of them. And so I just was like crumbling. And it was on top of that, like a loved one in my life had died. And so I was just feeling like really bad. And I have struggled with depression and suicidality my whole life. But that was just the straw that broke the camel's back, as it were, like just that the year 2014 into 2015 into 2016. So I think I had a lot of unprocessed stuff that I thought I was over and figured out. But then when COVID hit, I was like, oh my God, I'm having to like revisit a lot of this stuff, sit with myself a lot. I'm very grateful that I have a loving partner that is a musician and is now an MK Naomi as well, Tom.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just I think I kind of like lost sight of myself again in a way that I didn't expect to, and out came these songs in a way. So I'm still kind of trying to. The long answer is that, but the short answer is I'm trying to figure out my writing style because I don't really have one.
No, like, I mean, everyone I've talked to has a different writing style, right? I write, and my style is like all over the place, and
Mhm.
and I don't even have, like, and I can't write a song. Like, I don't know how to write a song. That's like been the running joke for me. Like, once I figure it out, the podcast is over. You know what I mean? So because
Yep.
but like, I the one thing that's constant for me is like, so I do like, I didn't even know what this was called. Like, I used to just call it instinctive writing, but I guess it's like stream of conscious writing is what it's called. And like,
Mm.
and so like a lot of my emotion comes out through writing, and like, I get that, like, and sometimes it is a mess, and like, and then I can kind of like pick things out of that, and kind of go from there. I have a
Yeah.
writing project that I did that's kind of basically like, whenever I had like like a thought about something, I wrote it down, and then like I built something around that later on. You know, and once I was like able to, you know, write and be able to understand what I was writing, you know, I would go
Yeah.
back to it. And but like I don't think that's a wrong way. You know what I mean? Like I actually kind of like that. I kind of like that. Like it's just like these are just things that like just kind of come to you, and you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
and that's how we process things. I think for me anyway. I don't know about for you, but like I think like when I learned about creative writing, I was a little kid. I was in the third grade. And I'll never forget this. And like up until that point, I was a kid who didn't know how to express himself and like express his emotions. And like I was like this little bad kid. You know what I mean? I was just like I didn't know how to get this stuff out. And then when I learned about that, like things started to change for me. You know what I mean? And then it gets super sad because like the school thought there was something wrong with me because I was writing horror stories, and like so I went back to being a little asshole. And like
God.
and they like accepted that more. So like I'm from I grew up in like the 80s and 90s though, so it's like, you know, it was a little bit of a different time back then, you know, in the education system. But like yeah, so I think writing's always been part of me, and I kind of like I don't know, kind of I kind of what you said resonated with me about like it comes and goes, you know what I mean? And like I have so many notebooks. Like when I die, someone's either going to become rich from all of these notebooks, or they're going to think I was a serial killer, and they're going to try to piece something together. Cause like I'll have a notebook with like one word in it, and it's just, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yes, I can very much relate to that. It's like, what were you doing? Is this an art piece? Like, I don't know. No, it's just, I started something, I didn't finish it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that definitely resonates.
I'm ADHD, you know, full. Like and I didn't take medication until I was an adult. Cause like, I was like terrified of medication when I was growing up, and like my cousins were on medications, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be like that, because sometimes they were like zombies, and like, and I just didn't understand it, you know. So, but the older I got with this stuff, it was harder for me to like deal with it. You know what I mean? Like with so my ADHD, like I'll hyper fixate, and I will get to the point like if I'll be at work. Actually, I just talked about this at my job today. We had like this like workshop thing, and we were talking about like I don't know. Empowerment with being negative and being positive, and I was telling them like I told this story, right? So I would be working on something, and then someone would be like, "Hey, you need to stop that. Come over here and do this," and I would have a meltdown because I couldn't finish the task at hand.
Oh yeah,
you know. And like it took years to figure out like, oh, this is what that is. Oh, there's like, you know, and I started taking like medication for it, and I'm like, oh, I can just stop what I'm doing now and go do that and not have an issue, you know, like
that's awesome.
It's crazy. It's just like a crazy thing to think about. Right. So yeah, I totally understand like where you're coming from with all that. So, but again, I don't think it's a bad thing to be able to like write that way. I think that's actually a good thing, because I think you can pull more out of it at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, it feels like things aren't as set in their ways. Like, I guess now that we're talking, like, I tend to come up with some sort of little melody on guitar. Like, I play bass in both bands in MK and Unseemlier, but I tend to write on guitar first, and I'm fine. But like, I have my own style, and so like that's kind of where I jump off from. And then, you know, I might have lyrics laying around, or you know, a vocal idea, but that tends to be like where I start. And yeah, I think I've always looked at it as, you know, a problem. Like, oh, I'm not organized, or oh, I don't have like my shit together. But I think you're right. I'll take a leaf out of your book and maybe consider it an artist's way. You know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's at least our way.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know how else to function if not in chaos. So
yeah, some people like need that, you know. Like I it's funny because I have structure in so many other aspects of my life, but like I think when I try to structure my writing, like from the get go, it doesn't work. Like I that's when I have writer's block. Like and it sucks because sometimes, like, or a lot of the times, I have. Like, it's the worst time possible for an idea to come to my head because I can't do anything about it, you know? So I risk losing that thought. But like, I don't remember to use my notes app on my phone a lot. Like, so.
It took me a long time because I do struggle with that too, Trev, like just having ideas and then being like, I'm going to write that down. and then I don't, and then I'm like, I know that was a really good idea, and I hope it comes back. But
Yeah,
like, would I
yeah,
recognize it if it did? I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had like that happened so much. Like the other day, I woke up and I had this kind of crazy dream. It was kind of sad, and it was like fucking with me. And then
Mhm.
I like went to work, and I forgot about it. And then like at 2 o'clock, it popped back into my head. I'm like, God damn it! Like,
Oh no.
I don't know. Maybe that's ADHD too, right? Like it just flows away, but it comes back, and I don't know. So I
Our
want to
brains
ask,
work mysterious.
how were you? So how long have you been like writing songs and being in bands, and like have you always done that?
No, I started well, going back chronologically, so 2014 is when I started playing with like a folk trio situation. I was one of three. I answered an ad at a Starbucks that I was working at, and my aunt had just passed away or was passing away from kidney failure, and it was just like a really weird time. That same year I graduated from college, and I also was like working way too much at these like dead end jobs and not knowing how to like stay afloat. And my partner at the time, who we broke up, but it was just like a very tricky situation because yeah, there was just like a lot happening, and our mental health was both like really struggling, and I was, yeah, trying to help him with his shit, and he was
Mm.
having a breakdown. I ended up having a breakdown. So it was like a 2 to 3 year period in my life where I slowly assimilated into playing music. Like I started with answering that ad, like literally just a tearaway thing at the Starbucks I worked at in Marblehead. And I was like, I don't really, no offense to folk heads, didn't really care about folk music personally, but I was like, opportunity. I had sang in a lot of different formations in like academic settings, and I just really wanted to do band stuff. Like I've always wanted to do band stuff. I've always gone to shows until this like period of my life when I was in college and going into this that I'm describing, where like I was feeling like really dead inside, and like
Mm.
I hadn't been going to shows because I've been working. I was struggling with my mental health, family members dying, that sort of thing. So, and I realize, just as an aside, when I tell stories, I feel like I jump around. So please let me know if this doesn't make sense at
No, it
all.
makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so that didn't end up, that fizzled out very quickly. And then I answered an ad on Craigslist, and it was like a band looking for a singer, and that ended up not panning out. So I ended up finding one that was my first band, Birdwatching, and it turns out that the original Craigslist ad that I answered looking for a singer, it was like a sister band of that band, and that person who put the ad out didn't tell the rest of the band that they wanted to replace themselves as the singer. So it's just like, it's funny how like just by happenstance I found myself kind of through little skips and hops and jumps like to where I am now. And so I'm really grateful as an adult having that experience to be a musician in a way that a lot of people start when they're a lot younger. And
Mm.
so it's been like a lot of like, I don't know, learning as I go and bullshitting and faking it till I make it. But and I still feel like a huge fucking loser all the time, but a little less as time goes on.
Oh,
So
good, good,
yeah.
good, good. Because
Yeah.
you're not a loser. Right?
Thanks.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I will tell you from doing this podcast for all these years, everyone who gets that imposter syndrome are usually like the best ones. That's just my
Well,
personal opinion, So
shucks.
yeah,
I should be paying you a copay. Thank you so much, Trev.
yeah. So when you started to like when you joined a band and you started doing this stuff, how long before you started writing your own songs? And like were you writing like just writing at all or anything like that or
Yeah, I think I had tried, but I didn't like really know how. Like I think I was more focused on, prior to joining bands, like learning how to play guitar well enough to like at least get by, and like I didn't really know how to, I don't know, center myself with my brain going all over the place. So joining Birdwatching, which was the first band I was in, which is like a proggy pop band, we were a three-piece. That was like being thrown in the fire, but like in the best kind of way. Like everyone was super supportive. My bandmates were like teaching me how to be in a band, and like were very patient with me. Literally like helping me learn how to play bass. Like I'm very grateful for that. So I'd say it came along with once I felt a little comfortable with being in a band setting, which was probably within the first like 6 months. I'd say
Hmm.
I I'd say like one of the first songs I ever wrote was definitely with that band, Birdwatching, and it was, yeah, earlier on in the band, but it took me a while to feel comfortable. Like, I think I've always struggled with like self-confidence issues and esteem and, you know, all that fun stuff that people just get down on themselves about. So it's in a way kind of like, I don't know, counterintuitive that I'm doing this, because I'm like, I'm kind of like, I don't always love eyes on me, or like, I don't know, but I just felt like I needed to do it. So that's trying to work through that. Yeah.
I feel like Mike said something very similar when he was on.
Oh God. Well, there you go. The thread. We all have that same kind of like, we're a little mentally ill, maybe moderately to severe, who knows, depending on the person. And, you know, we all have that like unsure of ourselves sort of thing. But it's funny how like I can look at him and be like, buck up, deal with it. But then I look at myself and I'm like, you son of a bitch. You know?
I do the same thing. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same exact way. Yeah, I mean, I've been in therapy for years, and like, and I've gotten a lot better. And like,
that's great.
And my therapist makes sure I know that. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm in a slump. You know, so that's always a positive thing to deal with. Thanks. Now, when you write, like, was it scary? Was it scary? Because like, here's my biggest problem, Andrea. I have written a lot of things in life, and I never put it out there. I've never like I'm slowly doing that now at 40, almost 45, and like I'm like, why didn't I do, like, sometimes when I put something out there, I'm like, why didn't I do that sooner? Why didn't I do this sooner? You know what I mean? So was it scary for you? Like, because I mean, from what I see from your lyrics, okay, like it's a lot of vulnerability out there, like you're putting out there. You know what I mean? So, like, can you kind of like, when did you, like, how did you get over that, or what do you do to deal with it? Right, when you deal with that moment of like, maybe I shouldn't put this out anywhere, or whatever.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because like I think I have a lot more stuff, like scraps of things that I never thought I could do, that are not like necessarily like lyrics, but like poetry or like short story ideas. Like, and I know you've talked about this in other episodes too, where it's like, I don't know why I was able to bridge the gap with writing lyrics and like doing band stuff. I truly think it's because I had like a group of fast friends that I made that were very supportive, and I was made to feel at ease. I think if it wasn't for that, and if I was feeling like I was a hired gun, or like feeling like I was just showing up and like playing a part, I maybe wouldn't have had the same reaction or ability to like learn and like kind of gain that comfort and like sense of like, I don't know, just, I think maybe just seeing people do it, and like seeing things I really liked in other people's songwriting, things I didn't like in other people's songwriting, things that I'm like, oh, I wish I friggin' wrote that song. Like, I don't know, gave me the confidence to kind of, and maybe just like the inspiration in a way. I think I get a lot of my inspiration from my friends and from my loved ones, and just the community, just making awesome music. So yeah, I think it's just kind of rising tide sort of stuff. I don't know. I don't know what really changed it for me, but I think I just was hitting a wall that like, I just like wasn't doing great. And I don't think I'm a career person. And I don't think that I don't know. I don't have like any huge prospects in my life specifically. Not saying music is necessarily one, but music is something where I've like felt the most at home. And it came faster than I thought it would. I just wish I didn't wait so long to do it.
Yeah, we all have those. I think we do. I think we all have those little things where we're like, oh, why did I wait? You know, and again, like I said, I'm an old man now, so it's like, what am I? I'm all gray. Like
not far behind you, bud.
I feel like I started this podcast with no gray, and now here we are. You know, so. But yeah,
I would say like a president, but you know, the bar is much lower these days.
Yeah, so it just like, and I these are the conversations I really like having on the show, because and I thank you for being so open with us about it, because like I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are going to listen, and they're going to benefit from this, right? They're going to be like, oh, maybe I should do that thing. And that's kind of like when I started the podcast, that's where we were. Like that, I was like, I was uninspired, and I was like, I told my buddy, this was back in 2017. I'm like, let's, because we were kicking around starting one of these things, and I'm like, I have no idea how to do it, so I bought all the wrong equipment, you know, and like, and we figured it out. We figured it out, and like, it was like I was feeling uninspired as an artist, so I was like, let's start interviewing people, and in the beginning, it was like we had tattoo artists like like chalk art artists and
Oh
like
wow.
all sorts of stuff. So it was cool to kind of like, you know, where to see. And then I stopped. We did like 4 or 5 episodes and we stopped. And then in 2019 I started recording again, and I was in Pittsburgh, probably because I was like alone. I was like lonely. This was my only. I lived all by myself. Like I didn't know anybody in the city. Like it was like, or I didn't know anybody in the area. Like 500 miles was the closest person I knew. So
Oh my
like,
God.
it was kind of crazy. But and then COVID happened, and that made everything 10
Oh,
times worse. So and here we are, and now we're back in
here we are.
Massachusetts. You know, so but yeah, no, I think it's cool. Like and like it's cool to have that support system, right? And like that encouragement. And it. I think being around the right people allows us to be braver sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
and like helps us through those things. It doesn't even have to be like a conversation with them. It's just being like around them or being part of a group like that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And I'm proud of you for sticking with it because as I was listening to episodes, like kind of just getting ready today, I mean, I really enjoy your podcast,
thank
and
you, thank you.
yeah, and I was like, he has such a great voice for like radio hosting. You
I
know,
got a
some people
great
just
face
got
for
it.
it. I got a great face for radio too, you know.
Yeah, you do. Well, hey, look at you recording yourself too. I
I
just use your
know.
video. I'm like, oh God, I can never watch this because
Yeah, that well,
no.
so like yeah, the video thing is like yeah, I prefer if I was just audio, but the world, you know, the world we're in, everyone wants to watch things on YouTube and stuff. So here we are. But like
The robust
that's
demand
why I say I got a
flesh.
face for radio because I don't have a face for video, but we're dealing with that now. So
Oh, the people who have faces for video now look like robots and they're scary to me. I don't know, just like not to shame people for filler usage or anything, but I'm just like, what is normal now?
yeah,
I don't know. I'm getting
yeah,
pushed a lot of weird stuff on the algorithm. That's
yeah.
neither here nor there, but yeah,
My algorithm's all sorts of messed up.
yeah.
I had when I way back when I had Twitter, I like conquered the algorithm. I had just cat and dog
Ooh,
videos, and that was it, and it was awesome.
that's oh,
But
that's like you've made it if you can just like rise above all the trash.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
love
But
that.
I've been off of there since before X, so it's like now it's like I would never go
Yeah.
back.
The trash pit. I'm gonna have to give up the internet eventually, and it makes me sad because I get so much dopamine from it. So, which
You
is probably
know,
not good.
Andrea, let me tell you, I hate social media, and like
Me
I
too.
tried not to have it, and like the podcast. This was probably like 2021 or end of 2020, beginning of 2021, and like everyone stopped listening to the podcast because like we need to be. Unfortunately, like when we create things and have things like this, we need to be out there and kind of promoting it until
Yeah.
you get like fu money. Once you get fu money, it doesn't matter anymore, you know. So
Yep.
that's why I'm like I hope all these I hope everyone who comes on this podcast like blows up and they don't have to like deal with the crap that we all deal with as independent artists, and you know what I mean.
Hmm. Seriously, somebody pop off. Any one of us. You
It
know.
would be great. It would be great, and like yeah, it would be awesome. It'd be awesome. So I want to ask. I want to talk about Dream Hiss a little bit, and then I want to actually. You know what? Tell me about the band name. All right. So why?
Sure.
Like I know I kind of looked into it, and because I saw it like on your like little bio on Bandcamp, and I'm like, let me look into this. And so it's like this thing's like, so like the actual like MK Naomi was this like, it was related to the MK Ultra stuff, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was a CIA op. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what like why that name? Why did you pick this one? I don't know.
No, that's a fair question, Trev. Well, so my partner and I were watching X Files, which I somehow just never really. It didn't hit right when I should have been watching it. So I was catching up on a lot of lost time, and one of the later seasons, because we're completionists, it has Haley Joel Osment in it, and it's an episode that features my fave. What's his face? Of course, now as I'm saying it, I can't remember it. The FBI guy, the bald guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, terrible. So there's like an episode that's like Vietnam War and like CIA and all this stuff, and there's these crates in the background that say like MK Naomi on it, and I was like, what is that? So going down a rabbit hole during COVID, watching X-Files and then looking up MK Naomi, yeah, it was a biological weapons like program. So I guess op isn't the right term. Program, there are multiple operations under it. I read somewhere on the internet, but now I can't find it, that it was named after one of the secretaries at the CIA, like Naomi was one of them. But yeah, no, I'm a pretty political person. I'm pretty, I'd say, far left. I've done a lot of educating of myself over the years. I majored in peace and conflict studies, essentially genocide studies. Like, it's one of those things where like I have a lot of interests in that kind of stuff, but also I'm like very disgusted by the things that our country does. So anyway, if this airs and doesn't get either of us stopped at the border, I'm glad. If it does, I'm so sorry. You can cut this out.
It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, no, it was just an interesting. I don't know. It's like why, like I love political bands, and I'm like, can pop band be political? Like, can a emo band be political? Like, is that okay? So yeah, I'm kind of like trying to pepper it in where I can.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like it. I like it. And like some of your lyrics too, like you know, talking about like the world is shit, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
True.
but yeah,
and it was bad when I wrote it, and it's only gotten worse. So
yeah. You know. So I mean, what was the one? There was one song, and I'm like, this is like such a beautiful song, and like the lyrics, I was like, woof, you know. Yeah. But yeah, no, I yeah, totally on board with it. Totally on board with it. All right,
that's so the best reaction I could get. Thank you.
I mean, they make you know, it makes you think, right? So when you do that, like that, you know, I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. So, so with Dream Hiss, let's start with, I love the album art on this.
Oh, I'm so glad you do. It's our friend JB who did it.
Oh yeah, like I feel like I've been to a house just like this too. Like that's
my grandma's old house.
Is it? Yeah. It's awesome.
Oh, I'm so glad. JB did an awesome job. Their handle on Instagram is for art is JB couldn't understand science. Let me just double check that, make sure I got that right. But probably should have had my links ready to go. JB. Oh, it's couldn't understand science. So at couldn't understand science.
Okay, yep. Cool, yep. Cool. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it, and it's got like the album title is like, I don't know, this like little like eight like I don't know, like computer 8-bit looking thing. You know what I mean? It's I know, I dug it, and it's like it's got this fall vibe to it with the it's just really good. It's really good, and I feel like it when you have this like lends a hand to the music. I feel like, right? So like, did you work with them on this, or did you just say this is what I want? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gave the idea. And I sent like Google Maps photos of what my grandma's house used to look like, because it's a little different now. And it's not in the family anymore. So I sent it to JB and just was like, this is my idea. And then JB ran with it. And and then our friend Erica, who also does a lot of the, she's done all of Erica Bell Murphy. She's done all the design for, like she did the album art for Little Low, the album art for, Unseemlier. It's actually her grandpa that's on the cover, so that's really nice.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, she's done all of our merch thus far, and she's wonderful. She's really talented. She did like the formatting and helped me make sense of how to do tape stuff. So, and like graphic design on top of that. So yeah,
that's cool.
It's great.
That's cool. Now, did you have the idea of like of the album art? Like, did you know it was gonna like lend its hand to the music like it did, or?
I guess I didn't think of it like a.
I might be crazy because like it's the storyteller in me, right? Like I'm always thinking like albums, like the way they're ordered and everything, and it's not always the case, but it works for me. I don't know, but I felt like it really fit in with everything. Yeah. So
no, I'm glad you think so. I mean, so originally we recorded 6 songs. And we decided to whittle it down to 4 and release 2 of them from that recording time as like standalone singles. And so we released Tea Leaves and then Spirit in Your Time Zone separately last fall. My God, time flies. So those were individual standalone. And then we kept the remaining 4 and played around with the order. So that was very intentional, like the order. And yeah, I'd say so like lyrically they all kind of like fit with each other, but also yeah, Dream has came from our original drummer Allie that I mentioned before. She now has two babies in under a year and a half, so she's doing great. She's unfortunately not with the band anymore, but it's very amicable.
Mm.
She's busy being a mom and kicking ass working for the Mass Disability Commission. And so yeah, no, basically she came up with this idea for the lyrics. She texted something about her cat having a dream hiss, and I like the play on words with like dream house, dream hiss, and like maybe I'm the only one that finds that cool. But
No,
yeah,
I like it.
so
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now, so it says here like the 2023 edition, right? So this is that when you recorded these and wrote these, or?
Yeah, so some of the ideas go back, I'd say, even a few years before. So we wrote a few of the songs as a band together, and a few of the songs I had like ideas and brought them in. But we worked collaboratively as a three-piece. So it was myself. So it's me on main vocals and bass, and then Lauren Garant, who is on guitars and also additional vocals. She sings Magic Smoking Girl lead vocals. And then Allie Bull, my stepsister, who plays drums and also additional vocals. And so basically the chronology of that is that Tom joined the band, my partner, as a second guitarist. And then soon after, Allie announced that she was pregnant with her second. And so Ken Bousquet is our drummer now. And so he was kind of filling in while Allie was on maternity leave. And it just seemed like, I know he's a very busy bee, but it just seemed like such a perfect fit given that like I don't know, it was all just like, we're still friends and family. We just need another drummer. And he fits in great.
So that's all right. So I was going to ask that. We'll hop over to that real quick.
Yeah.
When you start a band, right, and you have a core group of people that are doing in it, and then like for whatever reason, whether it's good or bad reasons, like there's splits and then new people come in, like how do you keep the chemistry together? Like how do you keep the same energy, the same chemistry, or is it different?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of both. Like, I think so. I was trying to count the other day.
Obviously, right? It's all yeah.
Yeah, is it a different vibe? Yes. Is it a bad vibe? Absolutely not. It was great when Allie was in it. It was great when Allie and Tom were in it, and now it's great that Tom and Ken are in it. Lauren's been a constant, except for that 6-month period she was out in London. But yeah, no, it's interesting to see how different people complement each other, and I'm just so grateful that people are willing to like do this thing together and like work collaboratively, even though we're all in our 30s and we're all in other projects. And some of us are in a bunch of other projects. Like Tom is in like something like 6 bands, 3 of which are currently not active, but still it's a lot. So, you know, yeah, I'd say working together, we all kind of figure, I'm starting to learn now because I've never really like led a band before. And I hate to think of it like as a hierarchy because it's not, but you always kind of need someone to get shit over the finish line. And so I've never had to really sit with that and be that person in any of my bands, but now I'm taking more of a lead role in the sense of like getting shows, like kind of moving things along because, you know, someone has to. And so it's great that everyone is, I don't know, supportive of each other. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, is what's on Bandcamp, is that all you have like that's out here, or is there more? Sometimes people have more stuff on Spotify or more stuff on Apple or Tidal, whatever.
No, that's all we got.
Yeah,
that's all we currently have. But we are songwriting. We are deep in songwriting right now.
Sure. Yep. Do you workshop songs when you like or not? Maybe not workshop, but like there's obviously, is there songs that you guys play that haven't been released?
Yeah, so we're currently playing a song that it's our first song that we've written together with both Tom and Ken. Like,
oh, cool.
So when Tom came in, we already had the 6 songs, and I feel so silly thinking about it. It's like we've been playing the same 6 songs for a while now. So on the one hand, it's been really great because, you know, we kind of have ebbed and flowed already with this early being a band for a few years, and even though we're still early on in the sense, I feel like it hasn't been too stagnant because we haven't been going the entire time. But at the same time, it's like, oh my God, guys, we got to write new songs. So we've all been like holding each other accountable. Like, we can't take more shows. Stop taking more shows. And then we'll get an offer and be like, shit, this is a really good show.
Yeah, you guys are in demand. MK Naomi's in high demand, I see these days. So, I mean, you know, probably the whole time. But since I've recognized, since I've noticed this band, I feel like you guys do play a lot. I think you play a lot, and I think that's awesome. I think people want to hear, and like you write songs that are relatable and like catchy as hell. I'm sure there's like a lot of people that just sing along with you guys too.
That's very nice. Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that, like the community that comes out, like friends of ours that have been supportive of us. Like we're definitely still in, I'd say like we're still in like a baby band phase because we've had so much change. But I think, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that like I think we're starting to like kind of stabilize and like get into a flow. And not to say that any of the time before that was bad. It was just different and more chaotic. And so now we're kind of figuring out like how do we work together? How do we write songs together? Like, what is our kind of what you asked me, like, what's earlier, like, what is your way of songwriting? Like, I think we haven't fully fleshed that out as a band, but we're starting to. So we have actually three songs that we have finished writing. We have something like 7 or 8 more that are in the pipeline that we just haven't touched yet, just because everyone's been busy. And yeah, hopeful that over the holidays we'll get to finish some more.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Now, do you prefer playing live to like, do you prefer playing live to like recording, or are you kind of like do they do different things for you, so you like both? Or because I know some people that will record and they don't want to play live, like they just don't want to do it anymore,
Yeah. Okay. Since we were talking about vulnerability
I
earlier,
hate that word.
I know it's hard to say. My mouth
it's because and like I always joke when I say like it's because like I'm so bad at being vulnerable that I can't even pronounce the word, right? So
yeah.
like
It's like I can do it. I can like talk about how I did it in music, but like on a day to day, I'm like a locked box sometimes. Like I want to hear about other people's stuff, but I'm like, no, you don't want to hear this shit. But I started having some health stuff in the last couple of years, and I'm doing a little better. But it's like one of those things where it made playing live kind of weird because I had to get a couple of spinal taps. I had to be like in bed for large periods of time, and like just it was like a very sudden change in my life. So like I appreciate being able to play out more. I've been feeling more stamina and like the ability to like kind of stay at a show through the night and not have to like lay down, which is great. And so I have a newfound appreciation for playing that maybe I didn't have previous to this stuff's kind of popping up in my life. But I used to be terrified of playing in the studio. It's like, what did I get excited for? No, I love everything, but they're all different beasts for me. So like studio stuff, I finally, in the last like year or so, feel like I've come into my own and feeling comfortable of like knowing what I need to do when I get in the studio, how to prepare, as a vocalist, as a songwriter, as someone working with an engineer. And so I find that really fun. And like the ideas that come out in the studio, I always feel like there's extra interesting layers that like we didn't think of as a band in both of my bands. And then now playing live, it's like, I feel a little untethered in a way that maybe I haven't been able to let go, but now dealing with chronic illness, I'm able to just be like, fuck it. I don't care. Like if I fall on stage, if from rocking out and I bump into a mic, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care. I get to do it. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, minus the the health issue.
No, it's okay. I don't mind talking about it.
But that's cool to take something like that was going on and be like now that you're doing these other things, like it's almost, I mean, I don't know, is it like a new appreciation for it, or?
Yeah, there were times in the last couple of years. So like, just to be totally frank, like, so I got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos. I have been dealing with a lot of different like symptoms for like over a decade, just a lot of like joint instability and pain and like chronic fatigue stuff where I would get really sick from like viruses and then like not be able to bounce back. And just lots of just stuff that didn't seem to make sense. And finally, got diagnosed, and that has been a huge weight off. But yeah, I'd say like in the interim of the last couple of years of like really digging down into it, other health stuff popped up that kind of both reinforced that I have that, and then also were their own things. So, I don't know if I'm even answering your question, but yeah, it's definitely a newfound appreciation because I haven't had like physical limitations in the past. And so now, having joined kind of that community of like people who are mildly to moderately having some sort of like health stuff, chronic illness, it definitely has put a different lens on things of like, I took it for granted before that I could just like stay up till 3 every night and like write music, not every night, but or work a few jobs and like come home and just like pass out for a few hours and then go back to work and then go to practice and be in 3 bands. And now I kind of have to leverage my energy and stamina a little more. So when I do get out there, it's great. And when I have to take breaks, I'm very grateful for like having friends and family and bands that understand and let me go lay down in the van, you know? So
yeah.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome that, like, again, the support group, right? Like that core group of people. And that's amazing. That's amazing to have that. And you know, wow, it's something I think people don't really think about till it happens, right? And they don't think about it until it happens. And then, you know, but my hat's off to you for that, for, you know, and not letting it, you know, slow you down as far as making music, right? And writing, being creative, and it's a huge thing, you know, it's a huge thing. I think people could, some people, I know I would I don't know. I don't think I could handle it the same way. I think I would be a mess. You know, I'm a mess so much in my life as it is. So, you know?
Trust me, I've been a fucking nightmare for the last 2 years. But that being said, you know, it's like you don't know what you're capable of until you get thrown into that. And, you know, look how far you've come with, like you said, with like therapy, with like this program, like just different things that like you never knew you were capable of doing. And I have to stop and remind myself of that sometimes because, you know, like, for example, having played Fest with Unseemlier, that was my first time playing this past October. And I was nervous. I was like, I don't know, like, am I going to be okay to like walk around Gainesville? Am I going to be okay in the heat? Like, you know, I don't know, going to be like a bummer, but it ended up being really good. It ended up being awesome. I've been a few times, again, first time playing. And I actually, funnily enough, found like this scrapbook from when I was in 8th grade. And I went to this stupid little weird evangelical Christian school that scarred everyone that went there. And I found the scrapbook they made us all make. And I wanted to be a musician by the time I was 19. Did I do that? No. It was more like, you know, I'm 35 playing a fest for the first time, but I'd like to think that like little me would be really not totally disappointed. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So with Dream Hiss, it came out in June. So, right, it came out this past June.
It did. Yep.
All right, cool. And now, like, I know you said you're writing. So when are we going to see more? Because I definitely want more. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready for more MK Naomi.
Yeah. So we have plans, Super Sacred Squirrel. We have plans with our friends in Tatooine punk scene to release a split of either 1 to 2 songs each sometime in the new year. I don't know when yet because we have to finish writing a little more to suss out which songs we're going to use. But we've been in communications about that, which is great. And yeah, we're starting to write for the next thing. And I'm not sure if it's going to be another EP or if it's going to be another full length, or our first full length rather. But yeah, we're really excited. I feel like for the first time, I have kind of a thematic thing in mind already, whereas the last time it kind of just came together as it went. And so now I actually like being, like going through all of this like illness stuff has kind of inspired me to like write at least a handful of songs kind of just about that experience. And yeah, so I'm excited to see where that plays out, but we're all very much like ready to kind of take on this new step in the band of putting new songs out there, of like, yeah, just hitting the ground running in a way that maybe this year was a little more piecemeal, getting things out, 2 steps forward, 1 step back with my health stuff. But yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. I'm excited for more. And I need to come out and see you guys because I haven't been able to catch a show yet. So I gotta.
Well, we plan on coming out to the Worcester area sometime in the next year. So, or at least in the next like spring, late winter or something. So yeah, definitely keep in touch with you on that.
Hell yeah. Look, I go to Faces all the time. Well,
Come on down.
All the time for me. So hopefully I'm not afraid to go anywhere to see. I went to New Jersey one time to see a bunch of Boston bands. So
I love that. Who did you see?
Oh man, it was a lot. Like Coffin Salesman, KCUF, who else played? Michael Cannon, Morning Afters, CE Skidmore,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like a house show too. It was like this huge house show that they all would go to. I don't think they throw it anymore, but like
Is this the punk like summer camp thing, or am I thinking of something else?
no.
Okay.
This was called. They called it. What did they call? They called this like either they called it. They had two names. It was Nowhere Fest and Ilix Fest was what they called it. So,
Okay.
yeah, but there was other bands too. Like there was like bands from Philly there, bands from Connecticut. It was cool. It was a cool time. But like so, I guess what I'm saying is I will, when I get the bug and I need to go and see a live band, I will go anywhere. So
I think that's a great trait to have. Like, I met someone at one of the Unseemlier shows recently when we were playing in Philly, and he drove up from like DC.
that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and it wasn't for us, but it was like, and that's fine. Like, who are we? But like, it's nice to talk to people who do that because I also like to do that. And whenever, I mean, whenever possible, but like, life gets in the way. But I love doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure. All right, so so new music sometime in the future.
Yeah,
We're not
this coming year for sure.
all right, in 2026, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. You have shows coming up anytime. Let me see when this is going to drop. We'll say anytime in December.
We don't have anything scheduled yet until February, which is
Okay.
we might have something pop up in the meantime, but our next show on the books as of now is Saturday, February 7th at Auspicious Brew in Dover, New Hampshire, and that's with Megan from work and Spongehead. We're really
Oh,
excited. It's
nice.
great.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's see what else. Social media. Where can people? Oh, you know what? Before we get to social media, I gotta say, so I always look at the tags that people put for their bands and their music on Bandcamp.
Nice.
And I think bubble grunge is like a fucking awesome way to describe MK Naomi.
Hell yeah. I was very curious. Okay, so thank you for saying that because
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what people thought of the term bubble grunge because I do think that we definitely fit that description. Like we've got the poppiness, we've got like a little
I've
bit of
never heard of it
edge.
until now. So like when I read it, that was the first time I've ever seen that, and like
Do
I'm
you
like,
have that on there?
huh?
Do I have it on there? I
Yeah,
actually don't know.
yeah, you do. Yeah.
Okay. I like wasn't sure to describe ourselves as that or not because I've heard people like balk at the term, but then some people love it, and I'm like, I actually think it's great. Like, I don't think it diminishes like the music at all. I think it's cool.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think if I had to I mean, that's a good way to describe it. I feel like, and that's so yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it, and I
Yeah.
learned a new thing today with that. So
I love learning new things. That's so great.
me too.
Oh, I love that.
I try to learn something new every day.
I think that's a great motto to live by, honestly.
It
Like
doesn't
if I
always
could have
work.
zoo books like every day for different facts of just things, like
Yeah,
be
that'd be
so
awesome.
happy.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, so social media. Where can people find you? Where can they buy your music? Where can they get a cassette? All that stuff.
Yeah, so we're not on like TikTok, but we're on Instagram. We're on, unfortunately, Spotify. We're on Bandcamp. It's all like MK Naomi MA for our handles. So if you look us up on any social media, that's pretty much how to find us. And yeah, we're mknaomima.bandcamp.com. Same like I said on Instagram, and we're on I think Blue Sky. I'm not the best at updating the auxiliary social medias, but I try. I
Yeah,
give it the old college try, which is like a C minus. But
yeah.
yeah.
Right on, right on. Andrea, thank you so much for doing this and coming on and talking with me and being so vulnerable. Like I had said before. I absolutely love your music and I love your lyrics and I can't wait to see you guys live. Yeah, and I can't wait for new music. So let's come back and do this again when you got new music out.
I love that, Trev. Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, this has been lovely. Keep doing what you're doing. It's great.
Awesome. Thanks.